Can you barbecue on a £50 barbecue from Amazon? Well, today we're going to find out. So first and foremost, we need to get it unwrapped, get it built, and go from there. Tell you what, for 50 quid, that looks all right. First impressions, getting it all out, I don't look too bad. I'll let you know that though once it's built and see how durable it actually is. My job's just got more difficult. I think I've left my spanner and socket set at work. Brilliant. So, got screwdrivers. It's going to get interesting. Ain't got any legs. Secret compartment. It's getting ready to call it a day. Answer your question, can I get a barbecue for 50 quid? No, you can't. Anyway, on we go. Okay, so I ain't got a clue. Don't know what that's for, and that's supposed to be for a lid cover hook. How does that work? Nowhere on the instructions has it got anything to do with that, so I ain't got a clue. Like I say, I've no clue. That looks like it'd be a decent soap dish for the shower. I don't know, I ain't got a clue what it's for, so I'm leaving it out. Anyway, done. So for 50 quid, you can't grumble, you know. Went together relatively quickly. I mean, obviously after me trying to find my spanner set, but other than that, yeah, you know, ain't gonna win any prizes. It's no Weber. I've had Webers in the past, but like I say, for £50, you can't knock that. It's gonna do what it needs to do. I'm not sure if these are designed to have airflow in the bottom while it's cooking. I mean, that's obviously going to catch the ash, so maybe it is. But nonetheless, yeah, it's got everything it needs. So we've got a good temperature gauge on there, which is good. Not seen some of them on, you know, 200, 300 pound barbecues. Obviously an air vent at the front. I like this sort of design because it's like the Weber, it's like the Kamado. So yeah, on the whole, pretty good. So next stage, we're going to light up, get some coals on and show you what to do there. So now what we're going to be doing is looking at lighting this barbecue. So being barbecue basics, I am literally going to be as basic as possible. So we bought our barbecue for £50. We now need to look at the charcoal. So I bought some charcoal here. It's actually Big K's. It's a good brand. I've not gone to the local garage, won't buy charcoal from the local garage. Same as firelighters, using paraffin and chemicals and all that sort of stuff. And you can smell it, taste it. It's not good. So I've actually used this one before. I actually used it accidentally. I thought this was their premium brand. It wasn't. And I found this charcoal to be really good. So I got this on Amazon. I think it was a couple of bags for 10 quid, something like that, 5 kilos each. So it's about a tenner for 10 kilos. Which is good, definitely good, you know, budget-wise. Also, firelighters, no negotiation on this for me. I use these because, again, it doesn't give you any smell, any taste. You know, you can really smell that paraffin when you get them real cheap sort of white cubes or the gel that you stick over it. So, to me, this is non-negotiable. I'm not sure where you can get these, actually, because I've got a massive box for about £30, but that's lasted me all last year, and I've still got like 3/4 of it. So I'm sure you can pick these up very cheap online, probably just not in your local supermarkets or anything. But anyway, non-negotiable, they're brilliant. So what I'm going to do, I've actually got, for charcoal, a lightning funnel or whatever you want to call it, are really good. But because of this reason, again, because we're on a budget, I'm actually just going to do it without this. But again, if you can get one of these, it makes life a lot easier. You literally put the coal in the top there, put the firelighters underneath, light it. Obviously not on a table, but on the grill, they'll catch on to the charcoal. You've got good air circulation. And because of that circulation, it really gets the coals going quickly. But I'm going old school, the way I used to do it. many years ago before things like that. I don't even remember them being on the market 20 years ago. I probably had that about 5-7 years maybe, but probably been on there. I just never knew. But yeah, we are going old school. Need to just take this apart. Yes. Right. So I'm going to get a good amount of charcoal. Actually, I'm going to open that first. So airflow is good. Airflow is what gets temperatures going. It's what's going to get the coals going. So maximum airflow is going to be great to get this going. What do we want to do? So if we put some coal in, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my firelighters. Get them to a point where I can light them. Get myself a nice little pyramid going on. And now I'm literally going to light it. And that's it. So now we've got to give that time to get going. So now, because I've got a nice little mound there, obviously it's open to the elements, so we've got maximum airflow. We don't even really need that open, but it is good to just keep that airflow going. And this will now obviously start to light that area. So I'm going to leave it, let it do its thing, and come back to it in a little while. So now this has been on, how long has it been on? About 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, I mean, that's getting some really good airflow. So obviously opening up them holes at the bottom is allowing that air just to keep, you know, pushing through and penetrating. Because, yeah, these coals are really taking hold. You can see the red glow, how they're catching on with all the white bits. So we just want to wait probably another sort of 10 minutes and that'll be ready. Just wait for these coals to latch on a little bit more. Wait for these flames to go down a little bit and, yeah, go from there. I'm actually starting to lose a bit of the coal under there, so I'm actually gonna, where is that? It's gonna be red hot. I'm actually gonna close this off. I've got a glove on because obviously it's metal. Started to lose a few coals, so just close them holes off. I'm honestly not sure. I think it could just be to actually get the dust out of there. I don't know. It could be for airflow. It's not the best designed. At least with Weber's, they're on the side, so you can get to them. But again, for a cheap barbecue, it's pretty good. So we've still got the flames going. I'm just going to wait for that to die down a little bit more, but you can see how white and hot and all the embers on these coals. Just going to put a bit more charcoal on there. I'm only cooking burgers today, which is going to be the next part, so I don't really need a lot. It's not like I'm doing a big long cook for hours and hours, but of course if you're cooking for a few people, you're going to need a bit of cooking time. There you go. Let's not muck about. So Wait for that to die down a bit more, but I'll put the grill on now. Quite like that though. Being able to take that out of the middle, just add some more coals if you need to. Pretty cool. Don't normally see, you know, again, on a premium barbecue, you get this sort of thing. But yeah, for a straightforward £50 barbecue, you normally think you just get a straightforward grill. So what I'm not liking too much here is there's a hook here for this. It's not in the instructions. I can't work out where to put it. But of course, it makes sense that it would hook on to the side somewhere. Bit clunky for me. Don't really like it. I've now worked out what the soap dish is for. But no, you just stick it on the side. Little tray there. Don't know what you're going to put in there, but you got your 3 hooks for your utensils. But personally, I'm going to use it for the lid. Works all right. Nicely caught on. I'm going to stick the lid on, which will kill them flames a little bit. I've got the vent open, so it's still getting airflow in there. But I just want to see as well what sort of temperature we're at. Just out of curiosity, really. I can feel how hot that is. And again, because we're only talking about cooking burgers today, you know, it's not so important. We're not really trying to temperature control for any other stuff. So that is absolutely raring up. So temperature is definitely there. Okay, so we're there. Them coals, they're raging hot. Temperature's massive at like 500 degrees. Again, like I say, because we're cooking burgers, we're not really having to temperature control it, so as hot as possible. Now what we're going to do, we can see really that circle there is the hottest part. So this on the outside is going to be the coolest part. So what you can do is you could move all these coals to one side and have no coals this side. And that would give you a direct heat where the heat source is directly from underneath, or you'd have the indirect, which is this side. So when you obviously put the lid back on, if you had things like sausages or chicken or something that needs more time than just over direct heat, you would have it this side to make sure it's cooked through at a slower pace. But then if you want to brown it off, chuck it onto the side where you've got the heat. So this is still a direct and indirect. So like I say, around the outside there, the coals aren't, you know, they're only kind of coming in about 2 inches. So this is definitely not going to have as much heat, and you can feel that straight away as obviously direct over the coals. But with burgers, because they're thin, because they're quick, straight over on the direct heat, brown them off, jobs are good. And now I've gone to town on these burgers. What I've done is, because we're obviously cooking on a budget, I've actually gone for what I would never cook myself, but some real budget burgers. So I've actually gone to Iceland, and the reason I've gone to Iceland is I know that they can have some really cheap frozen burgers. So we've got these. I think these were about £1.50 for 4 burgers. So yeah, looking at them in terms of ingredients, where is the ingredients? They're trying to hide them from me. So there's only actually 42% beef in there and 32% pork, maize, starch, salt, and some seasoning. It's got modified maize starch, modified rice starch, and wheat fibre. We'll see how they cook, see how they perform in terms of do they shrink or whatever, and just give an honest opinion. I've got my greedy dog there who knows that I've got food, so you're going to be going inside in a minute if you carry on. And yeah, I've picked up these other ones then. So we've got 4 beef quarter pounders. So there's 79% beef in that. So, you know, that's not a bad percentage, but there's all sorts of like salt, rice flour, yeast extracts, onion powder, black pepper, blah, blah, blah. So again, not great, but these were around think these were around £3.50. So now we're getting up to sort of 75p a burger. I've then bought their fresh ones. And looking at this, it's 83% beef, which sounds good. But you've still got like white sugar, yeast extract, sodium, metabisulfite, which again, it's just, I don't know what they're putting in this stuff, but when you go high end, or, you don't even have to go high end, you can buy like 80% beef from the butchers, which is as cheap as anything, Smash them down, use them as burgers. It's just 100% beef, basically. I mean, it's got fat content in there, which is what you want in a burger, but there's just none of the crap that gets put into it, So yes, of course, barbecue on a budget, it's going to be cheap, but you do get what you pay for, Because I've even got these, and I bought these from the butchers, and they're a great burger. They taste really good. They're from my local butcher. But again, when you look at it, actually there's no ingredients there, but I've got another pack indoors, and they've still got like rusk and fillers in there to try and, fill them out a bit. And it's just not the best. So, but they're a good burger. They're a strong burger. They taste good. They work out to be about £1.25 a burger. So good if you've got parties and you're cooking for a lot of people. But there is, there's stuff that's added in there, and it's obviously better to go for stuff that's just pure meat without all the crap, But anyway, nonetheless, this is what we've got. So we're going to start, and I'll put on cheap burger first. If this doesn't cook right, don't blame the cook. And straight away, they're not very big, and I know because they've got a low meat content in them, they're going to shrink like anything. But what I'm hoping is they don't fall apart on me, because I've not necessarily this one, but I've had frozen burgers before on a barbecue, and they can fucking turn into mush and all sorts of stuff. So we'll see how they cook. What I am going to do, I'll get the other frozen quarter pounders on as well. Start these on the outside. Might as well just chuck them all on, eh? These will start off, but we just don't want to touch them too much. If you keep touching them, especially when they're not seared, when they're not cooked on the outside, you've got more chance of it falling apart. So once it sears, then it will hold together much better. I mean, straight away though, with fresh burgers, definitely much more for me. I'm just going to go wipe my hands. Smelling good. Smell-o-vision. Oh my. Oh. Okay, that's not the best. Look at the state of them. Well, they have burnt in no time at all. Look at the state of them. That's what I thought was going to happen. Just don't. Look at that. They turn to mush. Now, obviously, what you want to do is you want to leave them as best as possible to, like I say, try and sear, but that ain't searing, that's just burning. That is absolute tripe. So I need to get what's actually in them again. So they were on there no longer than what, 3 minutes maybe? But yeah, whatever all of them ingredients are, that's dog food. So let's go with these ones. Okay, they're starting to cook on the outside, which should. Obviously, we want to try and get them over some direct heat. Can't use me burger flipper because me £50 barbecue don't like that centre bit. You move that, you see what happens. Fell into the coals. Oh. Look at that. Okay. So maybe I shouldn't have left it on the heat quite as long, but geez, that was only a few minutes. Look at the state of them though. That is awful. So obviously we are got a very hot barbecue there. I mean, well, you saw the temperature, 400-500 degrees, whatever it was. So I will be quicker, but I have to see how I can use my burger flipper better. You can just see the meat. It's like pulp. It's not. So when using a barbecue like this, obviously you've got your hot part in the middle. You can see how hot that was and how much that burnt them blooming burgers. But now we've got the outside part where it's indirect. This is where you can just keep the food warm. It'll still be cooking, just at a much slower temperature. This is how I've always done it. Especially with burgers and sausages and that, you can just stack them up on the outside, you know? But now the fat's starting to get onto them flames, and that's why it's raring up. I knew that was going to do that. I mean, these are keeping together, definitely better than them really cheap ones. But now, let's have a look at the proper meat. Say proper meat, it's fresh meat. I mean, these are 83%, but there's still a lot of preservatives and additives and all that stuff in there. So, which obviously I'm really not a fan of, but at least this is fresh meat and you can see. So what I can do with them, obviously I can stick them over the flame. Cool. Just hesitant to use this flipper because I don't want that circle thing going into the coals again. Gonna put a couple of the butcher's frozen ones on. These are a good solid burger. I mean, plenty of parties where they're definitely good. Right, you should get up out of the fat. That die down. The flames get too much, you can always put the lid on because obviously that cuts the circulation, cuts the air off, so therefore the flames will then die down. But I'm okay with this and find it quite manageable. Oh, he said, that was a shocker. So that they cook in no time at all.
We're getting a little bit of flare up again. Ooh. Let's try it. Well, it's just the fat from the fat from the burgers. So don't be alarmed, because we'll die down. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Are you?
With my budget barbecue, 50 quid. My budget burgers to go with the budget barbecue. Well, let's see, are they really budget? So, she thinks she's getting fed, which she's not. Because to be honest, leads me into these first ones. These are terrible. I wouldn't even give that to my dog. They're terrible. But, I mean, I'm not going to taste it, can't taste it, but that just isn't pleasing at all. So, you're kind of 35p a burger, Iceland special, that can go to the bin. The next, we've got these are red hot, so let's have a start. So actually, these here, I could really notice the difference on the barbecue, but I'm struggling a little bit now to cook between them and the fresh quarter pounders. It's just falling apart. Horrible. I don't think I'd give that to my mutt either. And then obviously the fresh one there, you know, that's holding together more. It's definitely more of a solid burger. Don't like the fact it's got all the additives in it, but that was still like, that's about £1.25 a burger. I wouldn't say that's cheap for what it is. Then obviously you've got the butcher's burger, but it's still got rusk and stuff in there. So yeah, it's a hard thing to show, because obviously we're looking at, you know, a £50 barbecue, cooking it on there, and now we're looking at these burgers, and if I'm honest, they'll just need to go in the bin. Butcher's burgers all day long. I mean, you can get some of them as well that are, you know, they're not expensive, and I would, you know, go that way. But in all honesty, if I couldn't afford the high-end burgers, which is what I go for personally, which is obviously just pretty much meat, seasoning, maybe a bit of flavouring, but there's no other stuff in there, I would be making them. I would be buying 80% beef. You can maybe mix a bit of chuck in there or something like that if you really want to zhuzh it up. But you know, that's just going to work better than this. Just, yeah, I'm really sounding negative because there's good reason to. Barbecue on a budget. This is bad. So anyway, what's my roundup of the barbecue? You know, is what it is. It's a good little cheap barbecue for 50 quid. Got a good surface area, so you can cook a good bit of food on there. Definitely okay for like a family of 4, family of 6 maybe. It's not something I'd really want to obviously cook a lot on for a lot of people. There's a few disadvantages for me. It's low, so maybe it's because I'm just used to my Kamados, but yeah, that would hurt my back. But I'm 6'2", obviously a bigger guy, so that's obviously a negative for me. But again, we're talking about cooking on a budget, so it does the job. But obviously what you've seen for me, that centre thing, which I thought was great at first, it's not very well put together. As soon as you give that a little bit of force, that's falling in. And you don't want that happening while you've got your food on there, because you're going to lose your feed. Yeah, it's not going to be, you might not lose your food, but it's not going to be good. And that's pretty much it. But it will do the job. I don't know how long that'll last.
Is it flimsy? I mean, it's pretty, sturdy enough, but I wouldn't want to see it after 1 or 2 winters. But yeah, it is what it is. Cheap barbecue, does the job. What more can you say?
If you want a barbecue for a few summer days a year, it's worth it. If you want a barbecue every weekend, then spend a bit more.